Hey everyone, so I'm really curious to hear what your New Year's resolutions are. I think writing them down is a really good thing to do. So you can write them down below and let me know what your New Year's resolutions are and why you have set them for yourself. I think knowing the reasons behind your decisions, like your intentions, are just as important as what it is that you're trying to achieve or trying to change. So for me personally, my big one is I want to reframe or just become a bit more healthy in my relationship with alcohol. I don't have alcohol at home. I never drink when I have my children. I'm on a 50-50 custody schedule. But when I'm with my friends on a weekend and I don't have my kids, it can I can definitely feel it the next day, and it's very easy to get carried away. And at my age, I'm in my early 40s, I just don't want to do that anymore. So I'm trying to just balance myself. I'm not necessarily doing a dry January, but it's a dry-ish January. And honestly, I want it to continue being a dry-ish year. So if I have 1 or 2 drinks a week, like with dinner or out with friends, then that's fine. But I do not want to be drinking 3 or 4 days in a row. It's just not something I want to do anymore. And it's like a personal decision. I'm just listening to my body. And just, I just want it to be the sort of thing where it happens occasionally and I enjoy a nice glass of wine and I enjoy it for, I live in beautiful wine country here in California. So that is one of my resolutions, one of my little things for the new year that I want to try and focus on. And then the other one is pushing my business forward. I want to work on my money blocks. So I have a bit of a weird block around femininity and earning money, and this ridiculous concept that that women who are successful are in their masculine energy. Now, I know we all have a balance of female and masculine energy, and that is fine. And I know we have to have that side of ourselves. It's healthy. But I want to break down the block that being successful takes away from being a feminine woman, because I absolutely think we can be anything we want. And actually embracing our femininity is one of our most powerful gifts for us women, because we are very good at operating in a flow state. And I think just embracing that and allowing myself to be abundant, knowing it doesn't take away from my femininity. It's not going to intimidate the wrong man. It's not going to intimidate the right man. You know what I mean? So those are my 2 things, reframing my relationship with alcohol and working on my money blocks, which is going to be a work in progress, because I think it's just ingrained into us socially as women, and it's just been conditioned into us from such a young age. Women couldn't even take out their own business loan until the late 80s, and that, that's just scary to think of, in all honesty. And I think operating within the power of our femininity is just so important, especially nowadays. Because you hear all of this nonsense on the internet, this whole red pill ideology. Don't get me started on that, because as a feminine woman, I definitely do believe in traditional roles, but I believe that we both bring very strong and different skills to a partnership with 2 different sides of the same coin. And I definitely don't agree with sort of having these constructs to put around us that if we're successful, we're masculine and we, don't deserve love and no man's going to fancy you when you're in your masculine energy and all that type of crap. And then at the same time, I also I don't want to listen to that I can't, be successful. And I think that you can be successful and you can keep your femininity. And I do believe that is a big block to why some of us struggle to make money, women in general, when frankly, we're so intelligent and we're so amazing. So we're human. So those are 2 things. So what are yours? And then another thing I was thinking of is that this can continue for the whole year. So it doesn't need to be the new year to like every month just check in and see where we are with ourselves and where we're going, like with our goals in the next year and stuff like that. It doesn't need to be like a new year, new me, 3 weeks in, oh whoops, I've gone back to the old me. I think like anything, these things are a lifestyle change. So even just making the smallest steps in the positive direction, like for instance me, I'm not just going to give up drinking because it's just that's a step from here to here that I'm not. But I can, instead of drinking, you know, when I don't have my children on my weekends and I'm not working, instead of drinking 3 days in a row, I can just have 1 or 2 glasses of wine with a nice dinner and think, do you know what, I don't need to then drink the next day. I don't need to go and have a mimosa with brunch. I can have a really nice cup of coffee with brunch, you know, and just kind of reframing my relationship in that way. So small steps. And the same with my blocks. And I'm gonna work through my money blocks by really visualizing myself as my ideal version, which is a feminine, successful woman who, just because I am a feminine woman, doesn't take away from my right to create my own abundance. I'm not dependent on a man to create this abundance in my life. I can do it myself, and that does not take away from my femininity, and it does not mean that I am less lovable. If anything, it is just more of an expression of my worth and just how valuable I am. So, so again, I'm going to be working on visualization of myself as the version that I really want to be, which is myself in my full femininity, but successful and abundant and having good things flow to me. Not just monetary things, but lifestyle things, love, friendships, positive experience, just abundance in every sense of the word. And yes, seeing my bank account go up instead of down is I think honestly, it is a reflection of our self-worth. So visualizing myself as that woman who is managing her money, who is comfortable having money, who knows it doesn't take away from her safety, it actually makes her more safe because it means that I can always make the best decisions for myself within my own power. So visualization, affirmations, subliminals, everything. I'm going to do what works for me, which actually for me is like a mixture of all three. And I'm very visual. So visualization, vision boards, even visualization, like while I'm listening to subliminals, they all work. So I think finding that method, try them all. The one that just feels comfortable to you, the one that just comes easy and naturally. I think using those methods of manifestation instead of maybe forcing some of the ones that, you know, aren't as comfortable, I think is really important as well, because we all process things differently in our minds and in our bodies. So this is it. This is my talk for the new year. I'm on it. It's a month by month thing. It's not a January thing. It's over by February. It's not, I'm just going to focus on these 2 things are my big things, okay, for this year. And I'm just going to focus on them month by month, do a check-in and see how I'm doing. And I'm just going to give myself like a huge round of applause for any step that I do in the right direction. And if I do end up going out and, you know, having more drinks than I plan and staying out till midnight or 1 a.m. dancing with my friends, then do you know what? That was a great night. It doesn't affect the rest of the week or the rest of the month. And the same with my money blocks. If I find myself getting nervous, like, oh my goodness, you know, starting to operate from a lack perspective, do you know what? It's a passing moment. It's a fleeting moment. I'll just watch the thought go by, check in with myself. Why am I feeling that way? And then get back on it. So yes, we can't fall off the horse, you know, there is only like just sort of, I don't know, hanging off the side slightly and then getting back in the saddle. And that's fine. And even if we do fall off, we'll just get back on anyway. So yes, just because like if I do, you know, kind of fall a little bit below my expectations of myself, it's not going to be an excuse to stop. It's just going to be like, okay, that was a moment in time, onwards and upwards. So yes, write down below, just because it's good to write these things. Actually, words put intentions into the universe. So it's really, really positive. And right, Happy New Year. And then if you do like me, please like and follow, because I'm not really doing this for myself or for views. I just feel called to like share these things that I'm saying. And if other people can benefit from the message, then they're only going to see it if, you know, unfortunately, if it's more popular than like 3 views. Thank you so much.